Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about the last topic in our unit 1. So last class we have discussed about the EIA notification. No? So in addition to that, how the legal framework are formed in our India, like in EIA process. Okay. So now we are going to discuss only the EIA legal frameworks. So the environmental impact assessment legal frameworks in 85/337 EEC, the directive on the assessment of the affected of certain public and private project on the environment effective from July 1988. The purpose is to ensure that a development's likely effects on the environment are taken into consideration before the development is authorized to process. Whereas the development consent for public and private projects which are likely to have significant effects on the environment should be granted only after the prior assessment of the likely significant environmental effects of these projects has been carried out. Whereas this assessment must be conducted on the basis of the appropriate information supplied by the developer, which may be supplemented by the authorities and by the people who may be concerned by the project in questions. So the transported into UK legislation by the Town and Country Planning Assessment of Environmental Impact, the regulation SI 1988 1199. The amendment by SI 1990 367, SI 1992 the 1494, SI 1994 677. The ENB under planning development control legislation environmental impact has always been available as a material considerations. 97/11/EC, the directive amending directive the 1985/337 EEC on the assessment of the effects of certain public and private projects on the environment. This is the effective from March 1999. The purpose is to clarify the supplement and improve the rules on the assessment procedure in order to ensure that the directive is applied in an increasingly harmonized, accountable and efficient manner to an increased range of development, like it will be transfer up some annexure 2 development categories to annexure 1 category, then transported into the UK legislation, the Town and Country Planning in Environmental Impact Assessment England and Wales, the regulation 1999 SI 1999 to 93, the NB previous SI 1988, then 1199 regulations revoked. The NB updated in 2007 following decision of ECJ. The current legal obligation are it is mandatory to carry out an EIA for certain prescribed type of development, like it is mandatory to carry out an assessment of the need for an EIA for other type of development. So, and to carry out an EIA where certain prescribed circumstance exists. So, in annexure 1, example, power station, steel plant, chemical plant, incinerator. Okay, like whereas the motorway, the groundwater abstraction, large airport. The next, wastewater treatment work, the NBB. Okay, so many of this process also require IPPC authorization, which includes a similar EIA process. In annexure 2 example, fish farm, land reclamation, quarry, wind farm, shopping center, cement plant, small airfield, then coastal protection works. So the key factors in considering likelihood of significant environmental impact, the size of development, sensitivity of area, possibility of long-term irreversible harms. So the exclusion of to EIA obligation, national defense projects, exceptional specific projects as determined by the Secretary of State. The most obvious manifestation of the process is the environmental statement, which the developer is required to produce. So the NB minimum requirement for a ES are specified, then failure to submit the satisfactory ES. The application rejected, then under Environmental Information Regulation SI 1998 1447, the relevant information must be provided. The ES submission process in England and Wales, the developer identifies need for and submit an ES with planning application. Then developer asks LPA for a screening opinion as to whether an EIA is required, and sometimes for a scoping opinion as the what the ES should include. Like in developer asks to submit an ES by LPA. Then following receipt of a planning application, developer asked to submit an ES by Secretary of State in the event of an appeal. Then NB, the EIA legislation is all about obligation to carry out an EIA for a proposed development. The evidence from the EIA of adverse environmental impact does not necessarily mean that the development will not be allowed to go ahead. The mitigation measures can be included in the conditions attached to a grant of planning permission. Also, the operation will often require some forms of separate pollution control authorizations. So the clarification in the courts, where a small project is part of a wider development which as a whole may have on significant impact, then EIA is required. In 1991, Arviswala Boros Council exports the RSPB or Medway planning permission for the development on or Medway mudflats like Lepel Bank. In 1994, Bund Naturalists in Bayer the Frist Test Bayan C 396/92. 1995, Commission V Germany C 431/92 renew black at exiting power stations. So the clarification in the court, the EIA records do not apply retrospectively. So these are the examples. Okay, so like with the respect to M3 motorway through the telephone town, then but would apply in case where new development on existing site or where renewal of the existing permission in required. So these are the clarification. Okay, we have to provide into bank. So in 2002, the European Commission sent a recent opinion. Then after that, the committing on this decision, the Environment Commissioner Mangot Wellston said the EIA is directive is central to wise environmental decision making. The Commission is committed to ensuring that national laws and practice recognize this. Again, it will be go the same process. So finally, so it will be go in a good directive. Then after that, they give a wonderful plan and programming relating to as development planning, water management, fisheries, waste management, mineral extraction, telecommunication, land use, transport, energy, agriculture, forestry, tourism. So they give different opinion among the different categories. So on the plan and the program which set the framework for development concerns for EAA Directive Annexure 1 and Annexure 2 projects. The impact on SAC sites as designated under the Habitat Directives. The exception plan and programs which relates to minor modification or small areas at local level, national defense, civil emergencies, government finance or budgets. So in UK, the SEA directive is implemented under the Environmental Assessment of Plans and Program Regulations. So the regulation apply to the plans and program whose formal preparation or maybe the modification began after the 21/7/2004. So after that 2006 it will be remodified. So the requirement on a responsible authority during preparation of the plan or the program, that is before its formal adoption, like the preparation of an environmental report, consultation with relevant bodies and the public on both the plant or program and the environmental report, and explanation of decision taken following the consultation, monitoring and assessment of impacts. So the requirement on the responsible authorities continued support investment case first in UK SEA directive. So like the justice whether of the judgment held that the whole structure of the planning service, then it is failed to comply with the directive in that the regulations failed to specify a period of time for consultation. The judgment gives guidance on what is meant by yearly and effective consultation, the requirements for an environmental report, and non-technical summary. We have to consultation as a draft stage, then described by the press as a body below and to the government. It has profound consequences not only for Northern Ireland but also for England and Wales, where the regulations are identical. So these legal frameworks we have framed already based on EIA. These are the reference material. Thank you.